Is the single biggest myth in internet marketing. And that myth is that the money is in the list. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, right? The money's in the list, the money's in the list. And it's complete and total bullshit. Think about this. If that were the case, then the richest people in the world would be spammers, wouldn't they? Because they have the biggest lists. You know, I mean, you've got some guy who goes and buys a CD-ROM with 40 billion email addresses on it. Well, if the money were in the list, then that guy would immediately be a multimillionaire, if not richer, wouldn't he? So clearly, the money's not in the list. So then that leads us to think about it a little bit more, and then we say, well, maybe the money is in the relationship with the list, right? And that's getting closer to the truth, but it's not entirely true. Because we need to think, well, what creates this relationship with the list, right? I mean, it doesn't just appear magically. So I think the truth of the matter is, if you really think about it accurately, the real truth is that the money is in the value that you provide to the list. Because the value that you provide to the list creates that relationship with your list. It creates the trust that they have in you. It creates that goodwill, and it causes them to trust you and to like you and to want to buy from you. And if you think about it even more, the ultimate truth in business long term is that we are paid in direct proportion to the amount of value that we provide to the marketplace. And I think it's important, so important really, you should write it down. Our income is directly proportional to the amount of value that we provide to our marketplace. Now, sure, sometimes someone will have a quick hit, and they'll make a little bit of money and then they'll vanish because they haven't provided a lot of value to their marketplace. But for lasting, long, enduring success financially, you have to constantly be providing value to your marketplace. And if you do, you'll be compensated for it well. So what I want to do is I want to give you 5 pillars to create value in your marketplace, to bond with any list of any size, and to ultimately make sales. Because I think a big question you might have is, well, how do I provide value and sell at the same time? A lot of people have it in their head that they think, well, if I'm selling, then I'm not providing value and I'm doing people wrong. Actually, the opposite is true. And I call these the 5 pillars of kindness. So I'm going to walk you through them. And what these are going to do is they're going to show you how to provide immense value to your subscribers and to your list, and also sell them a lot of stuff in the meantime. So step number 1 is to know their desired outcome, right? It's very important for you to know your market, and even more important for you to know where it is that they want to go, what it is that they want to accomplish, and then understand how you can help them, and of course, actually help them, right? We really get paid well for helping people. That's part of this whole delivering value thing. So step 1 is know their desired outcome. So step 2 is to overcome their skepticism with something that I call shock and awe coolness. So let's examine the first part of that step, was to overcome their skepticism. Now, you and I both know, especially online, right, that people are skeptical, perhaps now more than ever, because they're given all kinds of empty promises. They see a lot of hype. Good Lord, the regulatory agencies are coming out of the woodwork right now because so many shenanigans have been perpetuated within the marketplace, not just our community, but the entire global marketplace online. Shenanigans everywhere. So part of that is to overcome their skepticism. Understand that people are going to be skeptical, naturally and as a result of their past experiences. So the way you overcome it is with the second part of the step 2, which is shock and awe coolness. And here's what I mean by that. When someone comes into your funnel and joins their list, the only reason they're joining their list is because they want to get one step closer, or perhaps many steps closer, to their ultimate desired outcome we talked about in step 1, right? So the best thing we can do to overcome their skepticism is to demonstrate that we can help them via shock and awe coolness. So what shock and awe coolness is, really, essentially, is you putting your best foot forward.